First boss is Aversion. For anyone that's been paying attention, this is the tic-tac-toe boss. This is the grid. I understand this is not perfect tic-tac-toe, but this is what the grid is. Long story short, boss is going to start in the center. He is going to choose 3 zones, and we have to get rid of 2 of them. And there's going to be 1 portal that's going to be left behind. So in this scenario, we're going to take the top left and the top middle one. These adds will go away when we soak a tank soak, which gets rid of these 2 marks, which means this add will become alive, and little adds will spawn out around him as well. Again, it's the first boss, so it's not too difficult. As soon as we spawn the leftover add, the leftover zone, this zone is permanently taken for the rest of the fight, so there's going to be a portal here. Whatever tank did the second of these soaks will tank this add at the leftover spot, and the one who did the first one will take the boss away. It's just the normal boss can't be close to the add that lives. We need to kill this big add, kill all the little tiny void spawns that spawn with him. Pretty typical. There is going to be a little white soak that shows up that we need to get. It happens at all of the taken locations. So as we get more and more taken locations, more of these are going to pop up. This is definitely going to be a range mechanic. This is like hunters and mages, boomkins, people who have a lot of range and can get to soaks fast type of situation. The way that I'm assuming we will play this is it'll be like whichever zone gets taken first, Crimmy will always take that one. Whichever zone always gets taken second, that's going to be like Zancha and Dang. And then third, whichever mage didn't take the second, and so on and so forth is kind of my thought process. So this zone is taken. The boss is smart. So the way the boss works and the way this one would actually work is something like this. The boss, like I said, is smart. It will intentionally try to make 3 in a row. So it'll, after the first one is done, it'll make combinations where it forces 3 in a row. So in this situation, we would want to get rid of probably the center and one of these outside ones. But yeah, so that's kind of the entire boss. The only thing that happens once we get more than one zone is little void spawns from the old zones start coming out. A big add does not come out. Just these little void spawn guys. So like boomkins, you guys need to make sure that you are with the tank that's holding the big boss, or you are going to get eaten alive. So someone's mic is just gobbling up right now. Only other mechanic is an arrow shoot mechanic. I was kind of trying to see if it's like based off the direction the boss is pointing. It is not. It's completely random which way these projectiles shoot, but it's also very easy to dodge. And then the intermission, which is kind of a fake intermission, we can still hit the boss during it, is like adds are going to start charging down lanes. There's going to be a second charge that happens after this. I'm pretty sure you can't fit in between them, even though there are gaps in between the adds. So it's just like one of these 3 lanes is going to be safe, and you just have to go there. So the Mythic mechanic, it's been changed in the 2 Mythic testings that have happened, is these zones that protect these adds, there has to be dispels that go on random players to break the dome so that this tank soak can get rid of this add. So depending on what our pre-situation is going to look like, the thing that people are doing on PTR, which we don't have to do, but is definitely the best way to do it, is we would mass dispel the second dispel, and we would individually dispel 3 people on the first one. So let's say like this healer, this melee, this ranged, get a dispel on them. Tabby, Thias, Cud, Tree, and Fizz would individually dispel 3, and then we'd go to the second one, and then like Tabby would mass dispel and clear off the second one, is what it would look like. It does happen fairly fast, which is why the mass dispel thing makes the most sense to me. And it happens in a cadence where you need 2 priests to make it work like that every single time. Again, it's the first boss. I'm not going to be worried too much about it. If it does come down to individual dispels, warlocks, you might have to get involved with your imps as well, just as a heads up. But yeah, with that said, I will speed up this video. You guys can see how it works. works. If you have any questions while we're watching this, go for it too. Again, it's the first boss, so don't overthink it. So these are the domes. There's going to be these little blue circles that come out on people. The hell's that? Oh, man. Individual dispels to get rid of the dome, and then this tank soak comes out. We get in this. People who have dispels, like Banshee's here, who has it, he should be going to the next dispel spot. Which they decided is over here, I guess. And then this is a mass dispel to clear this dome, and that's gone. And then take boss away. There's beams that come out of the portals on Mythic, and then there's a big add. These are the little missiles that shoot out. Get it all together. This is why Boomkins need to be careful that these little void spawns don't do it. Arrows come back on Mythic only. And yeah, that's the entire fight. Then this is the next zones. They dispel this one, tank soak. They go to spell the next one, tank soak. And now we have 2 portals coming out. And a bunch more ads coming out too. And then I'll try to show you guys the little white soak that happens on these portals if it happens here. Oh, knockback happens from the portals as well. And then this is the fake intermission. So I do not think you can like skip in between the gap of the ads, and it's probably not even worth trying. Just get into the safe spot and just hang out there. And then I can almost guarantee that whatever is the first safe zone is not going to be safe on the second time around. So they're going to move over to the left here. And that's the entire fight. Any questions about that? And as always, if you have any questions about what anything looks like, all of the gifts are here. This is the little white soak that we have to soak at the portals. It did do a knockback on some of the testing, and it didn't do a knockback on some of the other testings. So.
Now, on the second void zones that it spawned, it didn't try to make a tic-tac-toe.
Yeah, on the beginning, on the first 2, this boss got tested 3 times. On the first 2 sets of testing, it was smart and it was trying to make a tic-tac-toe, but I noticed that too, that this is the last set of testing that happened and it didn't try to make a tic-tac-toe, so. But yeah, and then also like listening to comms, it sounds like people kind of figured out like how you can fake bait where the next portals are going to spawn at the beginning of the fight, but then it's predetermined to try to make a tic-tac-toe after that. But yeah, I'm not sure. It's the first boss, so I'm not gonna lose sleep over it.